this is a young man who, late in his career, decided to work on his mechanics, and it's paid off.
So the 4-point lead is the largest so far, and on the turnover, the Mavericks will get it again. So Tim Duncan has been guilty of 3 turnovers so far in this first quarter with a minute to play.
You know, they're going back to Jason Kidd and 3-pointers made. I mean, 6-7 years ago, you would have never said this, but there's only 2 players in the NBA that have made more threes than he has, Aaron Brooks and Gallinari. I mean, the only other 2 players that have made more 3-point shots than Jason Kidd this season.
The rookie DeJuan Blair from Pittsburgh, who came on strong toward the end of the year, has come in. There's a 2-point field goal by Jason Kidd. So Nowitzki has 8, Butler and Kidd 5 apiece, and the Mavericks lead by 6, extending their biggest lead with nearly a half a minute remaining in the first. Parker with a high arcing jumper, beautiful by Tony Parker, who averaged nearly 19 a game, second leading scorer. Good pass, Marion to Haywood, and one. And it was Marion who made the pass.
Better than a good pass. On the move, he knew exactly where his big man was. Haywood sneaking in along the right baseline. Just about got into his hands, Marion, and it was out quickly for the dump down. The conversion, now a chance for a 3-point play. Just another one of those pieces in that trade you talked about, Dick. Not bad to pick up a guy like Haywood to come off your bench, give you more size, more experience, more rebounding, more shot blocking, and more scoring.
Tony Parker committing the foul on the 3-point play by Brendan Haywood, who was 3rd in the league in block shots in his 9th year out of North Carolina. Dallas has a foul to give, leading by 7. So they have extended their lead in the waning moments of this first quarter. Shot clock and the game clock virtually the same, and there is that foul that the Mavericks had, and it's by Terry.
Things will change as the game goes on. We know that defensively Rick Carlisle will make some changes, but right now Tony Parker is going to have to make some shots from the perimeter because all of the defenders that have been on him are going underneath the screens on a regular basis, trying to take away the penetration, giving him the jump shot.
So Caron Butler goes out of the game, and Deshaun Stevenson, who's the 3rd player who came over from the Wizards, making his first appearance. Here is Parker, who's hit a couple of nice medium-range jumpers in this last minute.
Nice way to get warmed up, medium range.
5-point game. Marion doesn't go. And the Dallas Mavericks, who started out hitting 4 of 16, but have missed only 2 of their last 6, have taken the first quarter lead at home, 23-18, over their big rivals, the San Antonio Spurs, in Game 1 of their Western Conference first-round matchup.
Welcome back to Dallas. The Mavs up by 5. Time for the Mazda Coach's Corner with Greg Popovich from the Spurs. The slow pace in the first quarter, is that what you wanted, Coach?
Well, you know, we didn't want to get involved in too much transition with these guys, but we turned it over a few times, got into quick foul trouble. That hurt us.
I know George Hill played quite a bit in that first quarter. You were worried about the ankle. Is it holding up pretty well?
So far, so good.
All right, Coach.
Thank you.
And to point up Marty Snyder's question about the transition points, 9-0 fast break lead by Dallas.
Well, Dallas ranks 5th in the NBA in fast break points. They average about 16 a game during the regular season as compared to San Antonio, just about 12 points per game in transition.
For the Mavericks, Caron Butler has come back into the game as Ginobili intercepts that pass thrown by Kidd. Here's Manu Ginobili going up and lays it in. Ginobili now with 8 points on 4 for 6 shooting, and most of them have been inside.
Manu will be the first one to tell you that during that stretch when Parker broke his hand, the ball was put in his hands an awful lot, and he said, I didn't realize how much I was going to be handling it, but it gave him an opportunity to make more decisions, gave him an opportunity to drive, penetrate, and slash, and we saw him do it just then. He feels very comfortable doing that now on a regular basis.
Nowitzki with 8 points leads the way as Brendan Haywood misses the jam.
What a great block that time by Blair from behind.
DeJuan Blair in the last regular season game had a phenomenal contest as Bonner misses. And here comes Caron Butler as Blair had a career high of 23 rebounds and 27 points. And that could be an indication of things to come for the rookie from Pitt. Here is Parker. And a put back by Blair.
That was a pass, Tony Parker's going to tell us. It was not a shot attempt, it was a pass because he knew Blair was waiting on the other side.
You don't really think so.
Well, trying to help Tony's field goal percentage out.
So now the Spurs back down by 1 as they were trailing by 5 at the end of the quarter. Here's Nowitzki against Bonner, and he banks it in, and Bonner did everything he could do defensively.
Except jumped at the end. He was trying to hold his ground. He never got off the ground.
So Nowitzki now with 10. Ginobili over Nowitzki, hitting the 3. Dirk Nowitzki trying to get a piece of that shot by Ginobili, and that's the first three-point basket for the Spurs. And now Nowitzki and Bonner with a minor skirmish inside, and Bonner will be called for the personal foul. We're tied at 25 early here in the second quarter.
A little physicalness here down on the inside. Bonner trying to get a body on Nowitzki. Nowitzki half acting, half real that Bonner was leaning all over.
Jose Barea has checked into the game, and what a splash he made in the playoffs last year for the Mavericks.
Well, they can play Barea and Terry on the floor at the same time, particularly against the Spurs team, because either one of the Spurs guard would be big enough to post them up right now.
Parker going out of the game. So it's Hill, along with Blair, Bonner, Ginobili, and Richard Jefferson. Defensively for San Antonio, Barea fires it up. Brendan Haywood working his way inside and puts it through. Haywood now with 5 points. And the Mavericks regain the lead with 2.5 gone by in the second.
Huge size advantage right now on the floor for Dallas. You have Nowitzki on the floor. You have Haywood out there also crashing the glass.
And Ginobili goes up and travels.
Remember, for San Antonio, they've got McDyess out of the game and Tim Duncan. So there's Haywood jumping really against no size at all. Just clears the path and finishes with the dunk.
So 2 solid shot blockers with Haywood, and they can also work their way inside. Here is Terry with the quick release, and Juan Blair getting the rebound. Spurs looking to tie the game up or take the lead with 3 minutes gone by in the second, and Richard Jefferson couldn't get inside, and the ball thrown away, and yet another turnover, and that'll be the 6th against San Antonio, and we'll have a timeout. It's been tight throughout. Biggest lead has been the Mavericks size 7. Playing both guard spots. How about Manu Ginobili after the All-Star break, going 21-4 from the scoring. Tim Duncan, 13th straight double-double season, 11th straight postseason, 50 or more wins, and this is a team that finished 18-8. So both of these teams finished the season strong.
And as well as we saw the numbers for Ginobili since the All-Star game in the last 14 games of the season, even better than that, almost 24 points per game for Ginobili.
Jason Terry, Jose Barea with Nowitzki, Caron Butler, and Brendan Haywood for the Mavericks. And an offensive foul. And that'll be on Haywood. That'll be the first. Now the Spurs have used a lot of lineups, Marty Snyder, and they finally settled on this group for the playoffs.
Yeah, 25 of them to be exact, Dick, and that's an inordinate amount for the Spurs especially. But Tim Duncan told me that's actually an advantage in the regular season because I play with guys I normally wouldn't play with, and I got time with those guys, and those guys certainly got experience on the court. He said, I don't want to do it in the playoffs. Regular season, I'm fine with that, though.
And Dennis Salvatore, thank you, Marty, first called the foul on the Mavericks, and then George Hill got the call as Bill Kennedy changed it.
I think we've played almost 16 minutes of this game, and the Spurs have yet to shoot a free throw. They've not gone to the line yet.
Mavericks shooting 36% from the field and leading by 2. Double team on Barea. And the three-point attempt by Terry comes out into the hands of Butler. Butler over Jefferson. Good play by Caron Butler. And how do you think he must feel and the other two going from the Wizards to a team that has a chance to possibly win a title?
Well, just imagine